Hello everybody and welcome back to The Crash Course. We're starting off this week's episode with this. It's the Bishu Covert, however you want to pronounce it. This is the 1.5 LXI mid-trim model, manual, front-wheel drive. Yeah, should do pretty well. Guess I'll have to wait and see. It's been a little while since last week's episode, since I played the game, but should be fine. Going down the steps, seems to be taking it quite well actually. Oh, as I say that, there goes a hubcap. Bumpers have come off, but honestly I'd rather they be off than, you know, dragging under the car or whatever. Oh, and there goes the radiator. Still crawling up the hill pretty well. Oh god, running out of power. Come on car, you got this. There we go. Down, up through the left-hander, and then down to the right. Slow it down there. Over the speed humps. Taking them pretty well. Seems to be going a little bit to the left. Might have lost the front left suspension, I'm not entirely sure. But doesn't seem to be too worrying as of yet. Handled that bit fine. Still pretty cool. For this job. Ouch. That wasn't good. Come on. That landed very heavily on the front right. Yeah, I know my left and right. Oh, that is not in good shape. He's pulling very hard to the right now. But actually no, it's not as bad as I expected. I think it's when it gets grip it pulls harder. I'm surprised that didn't kill the wheel axle completely, to be honest. And through the water, over the cliff, please be okay. Took it like a champ. Something scraping on the front, I think is that like a fascia bit. Not too annoying. Oh, TL, got a bit more air than I was used to. Now, here is the wheel axle killers. Will it be able to survive? First one, good, through the water. Second one, oh, another hit on the front right. Oh, managed to save that. That front right is not particularly round or in the right position, but it survived with its wheel axles. Simply, well, pretty surprising. This jump. Yeah, seems good. Nothing's really, nothing's really happened that's surprised. Well, to be honest, the most surprising thing is that it's still going. It's on the front left. I remember this thing having much weaker wheel axles, to be honest. Round to the bumpy road. I seem to remember my girlfriend came up with the name of this, but I cannot for the life of me remember. Into the water. Ah, I did speak too soon. That water landing was just a bit too violent, and open diff, lost the front right half shaft. Ah, it was looking so promising for the Covert. I didn't expect it to do this well, to be honest. But there we go. First car for this episode, and it won't be the last. Right, well next up we have a Moonhawk. V8, manual, bog standard. This is the early facelift one, I think, but really doesn't matter. First kind of body on frame, I guess this could be a muscle car. I mean, it's a Malaise era muscle car, so it's not very muscly, but might do quite well. Always used to be a very strong vehicle, but I can't really remember if it Still is. Not the highest quality vehicle, definitely in need of a remaster at some point, compared to, compared to things like the Legrand, and it's just shows its age, but it's still a cool car. Still gonna take it around. Stairs it's handled extremely well. This wobbly suspension is eating up the bump, same with going up the hill. That hood is going to cover the windscreen in a minute, I swear, it always does on this thing. The hill, fine. Downhill section. Straight down. Oh, bit of a clonk, but nothing too major. Oh, lag spike there, it's fine. Yep, there we go. Taking some landings. Might have lost the suspension here. Ooh, lost the back end there. I think that it definitely doesn't have as much suspension as it started with, but it's still doing decent. Over there, no worries. Round to the left. Over this jump. Ooh. Bit of a funny angle there. The axle may have started shifting, but still feels pretty good. This thing is heating up very quickly, I must say. Even with the radiator, it's still... I mean, it's cooled down now, it's gone through the water, but... that's a worrying sign. Over the cliff. And covered again. Wonder what this is like from inside. Yeah, not much. It's hard enough from the outside, to be honest. It's heating up again. Over the wheel axle killers. We're all good. Took that pretty well. As I said, it's body on frame. It's tough. But, it's all too easy. I need to start letting off the throttle when I go over jumps. I forget it doesn't have a rev limiter. But, it's all too easy for dodgy jump to, push the engine up, can't connect to the drive shaft to the rear axles, and then you've got no drive. Same with, especially with this, with the Moonhawk, the rear axle can become kind of shifted to one side, and then that will disconnect it eventually. God, that was difficult. Like that. That was... I mean, I just kind of... It was crunching all along the ground on the speed bumps. And going over that jump, I just kind of lost control, hit the side. As you can see, it's pushed the axle, shifted it all the way over to the left, so the diff just isn't in line. You see, this is the diff here. It's supposed to go down here, and it's just not having it. Especially since the engine has also been put at a tilt as well. Well, I expected that to do better, but it's only understandable with this much damage it wouldn't be able to continue. Surprising though. Possibly could have done a bit better driving, but it's not a particularly easy vehicle to drive when it gets damaged, actually. Well, on to the next car. Next to tackle this difficult course is this, the Natry VD58. This is from the Urban Law pack, an amazing pack that adds a pretty high amount of law-friendly vehicles to this game, pretty high quality as well. Based on the Tatras 613 rear-engined V8, however this one I have modified in the files to be air-cooled. The one that comes with the mod is water-cooled, but I decided, the real one's air-cooled, I'm going to make this one air-cooled as well. So, it's going to be something a bit different, no radiator to get damaged, and, but it will overheat easier, I think. Even just leaving it parked can overheat it after a while. So, I guess I'll have to see how it does. First off, going towards the stairs. immediately lost the exhaust. It's a pretty loud car. So yeah, rear engine, rear wheel drive, different to anything we've had so far, and air cooled. Should be pretty unique. Now, I've tried this one once before. I tried it with a slightly different variant, but it didn't really work that well. And it had a big worry just getting up here, so I'm a little bit concerned. That bump in particular, but it seems to be getting up. Although I really worry about how much this is heating up the engine, you know, not going that quickly, not getting that much airflow to the engine while being at full RPMs. It's worrying. Either way, up the stairs. A little bit worrying, but not too bad. Oh my god, this thing does not have many brakes. God almighty. Spun it there. Get up to 35. As I said, this is an awesome pack, and I'll definitely be using some other vehicles from it in the coming episodes because, you know, it's great. It's loads of unique vehicles. We've got a fake R33 Skyline, Australian muscle car, kind of. You know, very cool. Temperature's creeping up there. Not too worried yet. The water should cool it down. It's nowhere near as. Was a decent landing actually, pretty flat. Nowhere near as hot as the Moonhawk was. Clonk there through the water. That's cooled it down a little bit. Not as much as I was hoping. Over the cliff. Again, pretty flat landing. Not too bad so far. I'm pleasantly surprised. Now this thing has a bunch of variants going all the way from 70s till 90s. Over the... Ooh, another bit of lag there. All good. Still got all of its wheel axles, or half shafts as they're called now. Which is better than a lot of vehicles can say. But yeah, as I was saying, this has a lot of variants. Going, you know, 70s to 90s, goes from chrome bumper, you know, massive chrome bumpers and chrome trim everywhere, to body coloured, you know, graphics, all-wheel drive, bigger engines. It's an amazing mod. One of my favourite additions to this game, because I just think it's it's a very cool vehicle as well. The Thatcher 613. Never seen one myself. Would love to. Glad to see it represented in a video game finally. Over here. Oh, that was a bit fast for the water. Yikes! The whole chassis is now kind of bent. But I guess because everything is concentrated in the back, you can still put power down. Ish. No, it's still connected. Oh, spun it. Yeah, I'm kind of three-wheeling at this point, which is a bit of a concern. Also, this mod has a weird thing. I believe it's because... I just can't get any power down, come on. I believe it's because it's still... You know, it's been based off the JBM, I think, of probably the I series. I think it still believes that all of the kind of engine accessories are in the front, because when you damage the front, stuff like the battery box starts sticking out at the back, which is a bit weird. But still a very high quality mod. Heat's creeping up there. Pretty difficult to handle. It's got one tyre fires now almost constantly. Over this jump into the... Ooh! Okay, it just decided to go for a roll. Landed it pretty well though, kept going. That was a kind of dirt rally roll if anything, but I'm not complaining. I worry about it making up this hill. I'm going to have to try and kind of conserve as much momentum as possible. Because, yeah. Well, actually, it's got more traction than I expected. Round through the twisties. I was about to say all good, and then I almost lost it there. God. It's a good handling vehicle, I'd say, especially for a rear-engine car. It's easy to drift, but occasionally, especially with this much damage, it just kind of, the back goes all light on you. You think, oh god, where's it going now? But I guess the bankings help. Now going down towards the stairs. A little bit worried, I will be honest, but oh well. Oh, come on. Oh, that almost went off. God almighty. Okay, yeah. Is that beached? Yeah, it's beached. Bring it back, hopefully get it up. There we go. Come on. I'm sure it'll make it up eventually, but yeah, as you can see, the temperature is flying up because it's air cooled and it's not going fast enough to get proper airflow into the engine. And now we are overheating. No coolant to overheat, just go straight to oil. But, you know, going downhill, get a bit of airflow, it's cooling it down again, you can see. You know, air-cooled vehicles have their pros and cons. I was just interested to see how it would do around this course. Speed humps, that one a bit funky. Oh no, that one very funky actually, it's now pulling quite hard to the left. But now we're back on the road. Getting flatter and flatter, this thing. You can see the kind of the height of the doors compared to the height of the roof. It's like it's been chopped and channeled. Actually just chopped, because I believe that channeling refers to when you like... Oh! That was fire! What the hell? What just happened? Was that from the engine? That scared the hell out of me. Maybe that was from the engine, because the... Oh, come on, get over. Maybe that was from the engine, because of the broken exhaust. I thought it burst into flames there for a second, I was worried. Oh, okay, no, that is definitely not... That is definitely not from the exhaust. That is big fires. What is it? I don't know. No, that's from the... I don't know what this is from. It seems that every time I let go of the throttle, a big flame sparks up. It's not even lost its fuel tank. I'm really confused as to why this thing has suddenly decided it's catching fire. Okay, now it... Okay, and another big hit on the back. Okay, this is now a bit more of a race against time before this thing eventually burns itself up. What is on fire? I don't get it. I never got the notification that anything's on fire. But it's just now burning from like the front seats or something. I'm so confused, but it seems to be cooling down. I really don't know what's happening right now. I find it quite difficult to commentate when I was... So it's coming from the front right? Seems to be. Is that the brakes? Can the brakes catch fire? No, they're not even overheating. Okay, come on. I'll turn you around there. Could it be the fuel tank? But it's not broken. I have no idea what is on fire right now. But I can hear the brakes overheating. Oh, come on. Whoa, something's gone there. Right, steering is now not really attached to the car. I don't know which wheel it is that isn't steering. I believe, yeah, it's the left wheel that's now kind of doing its own thing. It's very much on fire now. Still managing to get it around the course. There's only... Oh, it's not braking either. It's only braking on the front right wheel, which makes it very difficult to slow down. but it kind of means that if I brake it, it will turn right, which is a bit weird. That is a bit of a cheaty tactic, but if it gets this thing further, then fair play. Going up to the trench now. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, now all the brakes are on fire, and the heat is going quite a lot up. I'm kind of able to roughly point it, although I don't actually think I have any steering now. I'm gonna keep going because then, as I said that, it's no, it feels like I do. Yeah, I do still have steering. It's just I either go straight or right, but I'm not really sure it's gonna matter because this thing is now very much ablaze. Although this water might cool it down a little bit. Yeah, the oil is overheating. Piston rings are gone. I would love to know what caused this. The front fascia is now hanging on by literally nothing. And it also has no brakes. I mean, I'm holding down the brake pedal right now and it's not doing anything. Oh, come on. It's still, you see, it's still going. It's still responding to my inputs. It's just... I'm going to overheat the clutch in a second. Oh. Okay, maybe it did cool down a little bit. Oh. Okay, the clutch is overheating and the tyres are popping and it's just about making it up. I don't want to give up because it's... I think this thing is done. And actually, I think the thing that's going to count it out is going to be clutch. Well, no, I guess it would be steering, really, but... it's... Oh, it's very much gone now. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to stop it. And we've gone off a cliff. Well, that was a very, very dramatic end to the Natry. My God. Out of all the things I expected to go wrong with it, it was not this. Now it's going to starve of oil before it even overheats. Every single thing that I expected to go wrong didn't really happen. I mean, it did overheat, but it overheat because it caught fire for no apparent reason. And then the wheels broke, and then the tyres popped, and then I had no brakes, and then the clutch went. And now it's still not even, it's not even over-torqued, well, no, not over-torqued, it's still not even oil-starved yet. It's still going. What a thing. My God. This is a strong bloody car. And it definitely provided some amusement. Oh, I kind of want to, I just want to leave this thing and see when it's going to die, because, it's still, the engine's still going. I can still rev it. Just about. Can go through the gears even. There we are. And then I try and brake. Oh, actually, it is kind of braking. Oh, rod bearings are gone. Oh. And that is the end of the burning Natry. My God. Look at the wheels as well. It's got they're next to each other. Oh my God. Well, I honestly don't know what to say. That happened. Right. Well, after a very hot episode, we have a new vehicle on the podium. The Natry VD58 scrapes into third, just beating out the Country Squire. Unfortunately, a mix, I'd say, between the steering being broken and the entire thing being engulfed in flames, kind of kind of got the better of it, but it's still a very impressive performance, especially from an air-cooled vehicle. Now we go down into 6th for the Moonhawk V8. Not a bad showing, but unfortunately, those jumps do a lot of bending, and especially the last jump, the one into the pit, basically, landed funny, shifted the axles, drive shaft snapped. It's kind of what you expect with a vehicle like this, but it did roll a bit further than the 7th place vehicle, which is the Covert, the 1.5 LXI. Again, that thing did a lot better than I expected, to be honest. The amount of hits on the front it took, but still into 7th because one too many was on that jump, landed half shaft gone, and because of the diff, wasn't able to continue. But I would like to thank you all very much for watching. I've got a few complaints about the bitrate for the previous videos. I bumped up a bit, hopefully it looks a bit better, but I'm not entirely sure if it was my fault or if it was just YouTube compression. But we'll have to go see. If you think it looks a bit better, please tell me, because I'll keep it like this. Use a bit more storage, but it's not too much of a bother. But anyways, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.